boom.
Neil, we're back.
Yes. Alive and kicking.
We had a nice break. I had a nice break.
You had a nice break.
I went
all new
snowboarding up and
podcasts.
down
You
Bachelor.
see Garrett had a podcast?
Oh, they're blowing up.
Buell's got a podcast.
It's podcast bonanza in Santa Cruz right now.
Yeah, a long way to catch us up, though.
And you want to know something? I just got an email. I don't know if you saw this email. That we're one of the top 15 skate and surf podcasts in the world.
That's
right.
Right
now. Yeah. So that was kind of
second in Santa Cruz or something like that.
Yeah, because we've been doing it. We're the first.
That Replogal podcast would.
Oh. Yeah,
brought us down a little bit.
Well, no, I don't think nobody saw that one. We're off the hook on that. We had a podcast go south.
You go south.
Yeah, we all went south.
We want to hear those stories.
But anyways, besides that,
yeah,
congratulations to being one of the top podcasts in the world.
Yeah, work we do.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Tonight we have a great show. It's kind of a skateboard vibe night because. Nick Broms is here.
Yep.
Again, you're a two-time junior world champion
Yes,
downhiller.
sir.
What year was those?
So 2018 and 2019 were the two big world tours I did during high school, and I got the U18 world title for both of those, which was like an absolute freaking pleasure, and it was just so much fun. I mean,
Okay, you're a downhill skateboarder on that tour.
Yeah.
Speeds during that time of your life were about?
Probably the hills that we were racing around those times, probably like, I don't know, 40 to 70 miles an hour were kind of the managing kind of speeds. But, those are like, they're all very technical tracks, so you're going that fast, but you're doing that speed through turns, and you're doing that speed just freaking ripping through stuff. And this is my board.
We'll talk about your board for sure. But 70 is fast.
Yeah.
I mean, historically, that's smashing world record speeds.
Yeah, definitely. It's been like the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years that people have been kind of leveling that speed up. And right now the world record's 91.1 or something like that. And that's on this really special hill in Canada. And I don't know, hopefully, I think that's going to get
Did I hear you've been close to that kind of speed?
Yeah, I've been. So when we were filming the documentary with Don is the director and producer.
And we're going to show the documentary.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the documentary.
I hit like 83 in Brazil 2 years ago, and I hit like 81 filming part of the doc.
What's it feel like? It's like
it feels fucking fast, man. It feels like
Top Gun. I remember Top Gun, the latest Top Gun when he's on that black, show it, the thing is just exploded and destroyed.
That's what it feels like when you like air brake at that speed, because like so much force going into you and stuff like that. And
you said earlier that you've had wrecks at speeds close to 80.
Definitely.
And as you are falling, going 80, what goes through your head?
This is gonna hurt.
There's honestly like when you're falling at that speed, you're just like, God damn it, you're just like you're kind of thinking about it, and you're understanding what's going on in the situation, but. Man, it happens pretty fast. Obviously, it happens fast. Like your board will flip over, or you have to make a pretty big. Like honestly, at that speed, you have to just get something a tiny bit wrong to fall. But I don't know. Even just I fell this weekend, maybe going like 35 or 40, and that still happens pretty fast. But when you're falling at that speed, it's like all of a sudden you're just sliding across the pavement, and running into walls or stinging out of like that crash I told you guys about earlier.
Stick around because we're going to watch the trailer to the documentary.
Yeah. We're not wearing any padding.
Sometimes, honestly, you really kind of aren't.
He's wearing this helmet that is more for aerodynamics than safety, I probably believe.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Stick around for the documentary trailer because you have some great wipeouts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of
Why don't we just go ahead and show it right now?
Should we show it?
Show it. Who's got the documentary?
You got that queued up? And this is currently available where?
On Tubi.
On Tubi, yeah. So
completely free on Tubi, which is
you can watch it for free on Tubi.
How long is it?
78 minutes.
Yeah.
78 minutes.
Yeah, so it's not too long, but it's a feature film. I'm the director producer and Nick's the talent.
Yeah, I guess so.
And a lot of hard work and dedication.
Awesome.
Not just me and him, but
so when the ladies watch this, is there email at the end or something?
Oh, it should be. That would probably be pretty smart.
It didn't take you long.
Well, we'll get ladies. We'll get the social media figured out for you. Don't worry.
Thanks, man.
I got your back.
Come around here.
Before we put the trailer on, you've been doing this for how long?
So, I mean, I've been skateboarding and surfing my whole life, but I really got into downhill stuff probably 2014. I got a Sector 9 Mini Daisy for Christmas in 2014, and I got one at the same time as my brother, and we just, like, I don't know, we got those things, like, holy shit, the sky's the limit now, you know? We started skating all these, like, bigger hills in our hometown, because I'd been bombing little hills on my street board for, like, years at that point, so I don't know, I guess if it was, like, a soft start, probably at, like, 10 or 9 years old or something like that. I was skating around, but on a big board like this, it's probably been about 10 years now, I would say. Maybe 11 almost.
Well, enjoy the trailer, folks. Donovan, you ready queued up?
Yeah.
If you put that in front of the lens, we'll,
we're gonna put.
we'll make sure that we can see that.
Yeah, boom.
Here, right?
Yeah, boom.
All right. You guys can watch this on What's the Rush Instagram, too, or YouTube.
Via Capri is just the gnarliest road you'll ever drive your car down. Hearing that Nick wants to skate that hill is insanity. One false move may lead to inevitable death. This hill I've been studying my whole life. The road is sketchy and steep, the terrain's ridiculously terrible. There's a reason why people don't skate it. And I know I'm finally at that level where I think I'm going to survive it, so...
It freaks me out. If he falls and the car can't stop, it's just gonna run him over.
There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. I'm so scared. I'm scared for you. I would rather do this every day and die one day doing it and be happy with my life than never have found it.
So for those of you who just watched that, you take some pretty horrific falls in that trailer.
Yeah.
You said earlier you're recovering from knee surgery.
Yeah, I had
From
knee
a
surgery.
wreck?
Yeah, exactly. So I was skating this hill in Brazil. I was on like a big film trip with one of my wheel sponsor, Quay Wheels. They make really, really good downhill wheels. And it was like the last run of the day, fucking classic.
Always.
And we actually had filmed a run prior to that, but the camera settings weren't totally right. So we did it again. And honestly, like the run that I was filming was like, it had some juice to it. You know, things were going good. And the last corner comes around. It's this right-hander. And I do like my like kind of like drop knee squatty slide into this right. And I just realized halfway through it, I did my slide like way too early. And I started diving for the corner like, oh shit. And I start trying to recorrect. And my board flips over because my weighting is all off. And I fly into this curb, probably going like, I don't know, like 35 or 40 miles an hour. And basically just like, I don't know, nothing good is really going to happen to your knees when you hit them flush on a curb at that speed. So I tore my lateral meniscus and didn't know if I was going to need surgery. For like the first 3 months, I was just hoping it was going to heal.
He sounds like Emmanuel Guzman.
Well, I mean, like,
Right? He's always right.
well, the idea is not to collect injuries.
I know, it really isn't. Yeah, I could get better at not collecting injuries, I think.
Have you been hit by a car?
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
gotta be
sucks.
fun. That's
Yeah,
gotta be a lot of
A
fun
couple
right there.
car wrecks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the worst injury you've ever had downhill skateboarding?
I mean, I really have only ever had surgery for my knee. This one sucked a lot, but I've had some pretty bad road rash. I got some pretty bad road rash on my shin right now, or not right now, when I was like 12 years old. I was skating Black's Beach, like the road down that hill. I know you're familiar with it. And I collided with my buddy's back truck, or like the back of his board, and I flew off the board, and I basically just like 50-50 grinded my shin on like this jagged curb, probably like 10 to 15 feet, and like, I don't know, I was just spewing blood, and it was just so weird. And I had to walk up the hill, dude. I had to walk up the hill, and it was just so shitty. And my shoes were filling with blood and stuff. And it was just like, oh, it sucked. But I don't know.
You've been going to college.
Yeah,
And
I'm a fourth year.
He sounds like you spent many years in college, right?
I was 7 years at the junior college.
career. I think he's the same.
Victory laps.
I think he's the same.
No, you're knocking it out.
I'm knocking it out.
Yeah, you're
I'm graduating
knocking it
4
out.
years, yeah.
But did that kind of did this become backseat?
It did. I tried to not let that happen, but naturally it kind of did. You know, 2022 and 2021, I qualified for Team USA in 2021, which was pretty awesome. And then I got to go to the World Skate Games in Argentina, which is like this big Olympic sanctioned event. It's a bunch of different roller sports. I was actually riding this board there, and I got.
So you skated for your country.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was honestly a big on, right?
USA jersey, the whole thing.
Yeah, USA leathers. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And I sponsored the team.
You still got them? You still got them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Wow.
still got them. Yeah. I kind of outgrew them, but like, I mean, they're gonna hang on my wall someday.
That's awesome.
It should be hanging in here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Totally freaking hang him in here. I don't know if he wants that or not. I'll do it.
That's cool. Man, we're a big Nike dealer.
Hell yeah. But basically, I had to qualify for that, and then honestly, after 2022, after that kind of world championship event, like I changed my major from ocean science to communications, and I had a bunch of hoops.
You
to
got
jump
busy.
through for that. Yeah, I got pretty busy. Yeah.
And you're graduating.
Yeah,
And then
2 months.
you're back on the tour?
Yeah, getting right back on the tour.
So,
I'm
how
freaking
many
stoked.
is a tour? Is a worldwide tour?
Yeah, worldwide tour.
For downhill skateboarding.
Exactly.
How many events do they have?
So this year it's 5 events
Okay.
on like a bunch of different continents. The first one's in Turkey. No, the first one's in Austria. Second one is in Turkey. Third one's Isle of Man, which is pretty sick. We were talking about the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yuri is our motorcycle
Yuri.
racing friend.
Yeah. And then the next one
Yuri
is...
Barragan.
Oh yeah. And then the next one's in Utah at this like famous bobsled track or something like that. Or it's not on the it's the access road to the bobsled track. It's gorgeous. It's high altitude race, so you go really freaking quick down that one.
So you come if you first place prize money is what?
Not very high.
Couple grand on a
yeah,
good day?
Yeah, a couple grand on a good day.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it used to be. It hasn't been like that in a while, but things are looking up for the sport right now. I mean, we didn't have a world tour during COVID, which was freaking heart-wrenching, but yeah, I mean, then after that one in Utah is the 2025 finale, which is in El Salvador. It's in Surf City, which is going to be...
TC, you said earlier that this sport, the downhill skateboarding, has kind of gone by the wayside. It had a short career here in Santa Cruz.
It was hot and heavy.
Right.
There was a brand here, Prism and Blood Orange, and they had a crew and they were downhill and kids saw it and got involved and
Great guy.
they all ran into curbs going 30 and 40 miles an hour and they came in on crutches and then they went out on crutches and they put this thing in the corner.
Yeah, it takes a special kind of kid to like kind of keep doing it because there's a really big learning curve for it. Like I remember I'd go skate every single weekend in like middle school and high school, and I don't know. I feel like 4 out of every 5 times I'd come back when I was learning with freaking road rash. So you definitely gotta give some skin if you want to get good at it.
Yeah.
The kids too are just like they have such good head on their shoulders too. I mean, like Nick
The people
knows,
in the
but
community are awesome.
For me,
There's a lot of
being
good
outside of the community and then doing this documentary, not knowing going in if there's just gonna be reckless kids that I assume because they're just friggin' breaking 70 and going highway roads illegally and all this. Every single person I met in the downhill skateboard community was just like one of the nicest. Seems like good track,
No, you gotta have your head on straight, or else you probably can't be doing this sustainably.
I feel like they're skateboard scientists almost.
Who?
Because most skateboarders come in here, they kind of all ride the same truck, they all ride the same wheel. This is like.
What's different about that you?
Well,
you sell.
Yeah, I can tell.
I will let Nick explain, but I'll start straight and foremost. These trucks are like Formula One parts of skateboarding.
Yeah.
These are not normal.
Good analogy.
They're solid aluminum and they're cut with some sort of CNC machine.
Yeah.
And engineered, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're cut straight out of a freaking block of aluminum. So they're super freaking strong, super light, and I mean, we've had people get their boards run over by cars all the time. The trucks are fucking fine.
Right.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But it's not just the trucks. So traditional skateboards have we call it TKP, traditional kingpin. These are reverse kingpins, so they're kind of engineered for speed. They turn a little bit differently than your traditional skateboarding trucks.
Well, just look at the difference.
Exactly. So this one's axis is further back.
Can we get that on?
Yeah.
So totally. So
Okay.
kingpin's right there, poking up through. You got your bushings mounted to that.
Yeah.
And then these ones are kind of these are reverse kingpins. So
Okay.
a little bit different angles. These are built for speed. These are built for grinds and dropping down 10 stairs and everything of that sort.
And tight radius turns.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How much is this, TC?
Well, these are in the mid-20s
Okay.
generally.
And this is how much?
Probably like $300 a truck.
Right?
Yeah, so
truck.
you're looking almost close to $700.
Yeah. $1,000 skateboard right there.
Well,
right?
I mean, when you add it up, these
probably
wheels are
$1,000.
$100,
$100 a set,
so
yeah.
twice as much.
Yeah.
Your bearings, you're using racing bearings.
Yep, $100 a set.
Twice as much as
Yeah.
It's ceramics. What are you running?
Yeah, I typically run ceramics. These are just steel, just because these are my beater bearings. But if I'm going to a race, like I don't know, I'll get like 2 or 3 sets of bearings so I can be replacing them all the time. Because
my experience with NHS, the bearing is the most important component.
Yeah,
Is
they're
what-
really
is what,
important.
That the scientists down there were
Yeah.
saying.
Oh yeah. No, it's crazy.
Do they last a long time? No.
It depends.
Okay.
It depends. Depends the kind of skating you're doing. Like a few hills we go to, you're getting your freaking bearings so hot that they're expanding and they're contracting so much that when you go to put the board sideways to slide, you can get some honk because the bearings have actually expanded so much and they cool back down, and it's kind of a cycle that's really hard on them. And a lot of times your bearing will actually seize up.
So you're into your oil too.
Oh yeah. Lubricant for your bearings is pretty good. A lot of people are more into that than me. I kind of just like to have my skateboard and I just ride it. Like I've done I set the speed record for this one hill on seized bearings just because I was like, I don't feel like changing my shit right now. But some people are a lot more
something.
into it.
What?
The guys with that attitude always do the best.
They do?
Seriously, I'm telling you, that's just how it is.
It's kind of funny how that works out.
is.
Some people are really, really into the whole techie side of it, and these trucks, I mean, they are pretty advanced. We have the whole support pin technology, which is like we have about a 1/4 inch of travel in our hangers.
Yeah.
Or quarter inch, maybe quarter centimeter. I don't know. Some amount of travel in our hangers to kind of dampen the
shock.
Exactly.
Shock.
Yeah, exactly. Which is really nice and also helps with grip. But
have you ever gotten speed wobbles with this truck?
with this truck, no, because I just put these on last weekend. These are some new high-tech stuff that we're testing with my truck sponsor. And it was awesome because it's Fred Bauman's the guy who used to make Ronin trucks.
Who's your truck sponsor? You gotta mention that name.
Ronin trucks.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ronin trucks have been making some of the best trucks in downhill skateboarding. I think they're the best for a number of years now, and they have a lot of world titles, a lot of world champions on them, and I just love them. It was the guy's birthday, Fred Bauman. He passed away unfortunately a number of years ago, and it was the first freaking weekend I've been on these trucks, and it was just like. It was his birthday weekend, and I'm on these new things that my friend Max made. It felt so right, It was awesome.
When you get speed wobs, do you slide to get rid of? What do you do to get rid of speed wobbles?
Wobbles are tricky. I've obviously gotten speed wobbles a lot of times. Just because I'm sure I'll get them on these at some point. Yeah.
You know what we're talking about, speed wobbles?
Yeah.
There's a certain point that the vibrations in a skateboard get worse and worse.
They start
and
going
worse.
crazy, and your board starts freaking out and just has a temper tantrum. And
do you remember that
movie,
the Indian motorcycle?
Same thing.
In New Zealand?
That
wobble.
It's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
The vibration grows. What's your trick?
Honestly, it's all about kind of training your ankles and staying calm. So I remember I had a certain set of trucks when I was younger, and they were really prone to speed wobbles. Or maybe that's just what I thought. I was bombing this hill, and I was a little 13-year-old, and I was just like wobbling all over the place. And I was just like, all right, I'm either going to fall in the next 20 seconds, or I just need to take control of the situation. So I put all my weight on my front truck and just started instead of letting my ankles tell the board what to do, I committed to turning all the way left, then all the way right, and you start carving, because really what a speed wobble is sometimes is an overcorrection of your ankle. So let's say you hit a little rock with your front left wheel, and that makes your truck steer super hard that way, your ankle's going to correct it the other way, and it just starts freaking out because your ankle doesn't know what to do. If you get all the way on the front of it and just kind of commit to one way that you're going to be turning, it can help out sometimes. But
so you're 13 years old, right? Mom and Dad, what are Mom and Dad doing?
I don't even know. Yeah, they do sometimes. Sometimes I'd sneak out and they wouldn't.
Right?
Probably they don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you do the same thing with your daughter, right?
Oh yeah, I mean that's just kind of how life is. They need to know basis.
I think that there was a while where they were just I guess Nick's out skateboarding, but they didn't really know the scope of what I was doing. They know I'm walking up these hills for 30 minutes after school just to skate down them for 1 minute, so.
They didn't even know you were going to skate via Capri. The whole build-up of the documentary.
Oh, really?
I interviewed them the
Where
night
is that?
before.
It's in La Jolla.
They didn't know.
Yeah, so I'm from La Jolla originally, and there's this one just freaking really gnarly road there. It has 2 concrete sections that just have horrific pavement. You're going down them in your car, and you're just it just kind of sucks. And I wanted to skate that. That's kind of the whole premise of the documentary that we made, and
we won't say if you make it.
He attempts it.
I tried it. Yeah, I tried it.
You guys wanted that shot. When we talk about the Golden Gate shot that you have, that picture, Your dad ran the Golden Gate, so
Oh, he would love to throw his ass in jail for that.
I was going to say,
My dad guarded that bridge. Oh, you're lucky.
so your dad. I thought your dad would love that photo. No, he'd hate that photo.
Oh, no. Today he would love it.
Oh, he would?
On the
Okay,
clock, he'd be pissed.
Yeah.
But I mean, absolutely.
So you said it's a felon. So you said it's a felon.
I
Right?
believe it might be a felony.
Did you skate from one end to the other, or did you?
It's
No,
such
I
a-
just
it's
skated
a-
a section of so the bridge is obviously arced being a bridge and everything.
Yeah.
So I skated the downhill side of it.
Yeah.
Tell them the whole.
Did you stop the car, pull over? Stop the
jumped
car?
out on the bridge.
Yeah.
the
So it
dumbest
was so sketchy. Honestly, I
I
was
wanted
kind of
it for the beauty of the shot.
Yeah,
that
I was
you guys
going
are
to
talking
it.
about. so
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
And looking back on it now, I'm glad we did it because we had that shot. But before we did, I was like, I don't want to do this. It's just it's barely even a hill. The pavement, there's expansion gaps on the bridge
There's
and
metal
stuff, and it's just
expansion gaps.
it's so scary. I'm basically just hopping out. Imagine stopping on the freeway, getting out and skateboarding on a freeway. That's effectively what I did. So obviously, I'm in opposition to doing this. Obviously, I think anybody would be.
It'll look sick. Well, you didn't know that we were going to be in front of you. That was the biggest thing. He was
yeah.
fine with it because we're usually behind him.
Yeah, blocking cars so I don't get hit from the freaking behind.
Yeah,
So.
I may have forgotten to tell him that we needed to
May
face
have.
him to see his face,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
shot, and he was
Yeah.
like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I didn't know that's
I'm
why I was
left, and so
getting
Did
out
you
of
know
the
that
car.
you? Did you know that you got the shot?
Oh yeah.
And
I was
people
really
So you had
scared.
one.
Oh yeah.
People were
A
laying
lot of
on the
people were
horn.
honking.
Oh yeah, you watch
can hear it in the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are honking and freaking out.
I'd probably honk
Someone
too.
almost
I'd probably
barged into him.
Idiot.
Well, people who drive the bridge
Yeah.
think they own it. Because
That's
they're committed to commuting across
Nick
it.
owns the bridge now.
And they would be like,
They
"Who's
think
this
they own it.
jackwad?"
He owns it.
Yeah.
the
What is
road?
this idiot doing?
Yeah.
There's a whole nice pedestrian little walkway on the side when I was doing.
Like when people, sometimes people protest on the bridge, and the public gets
man.
so
Pissed.
pissed off.
Yeah, that's
funny.
Getting back into the downhill scene, are there girls right now?
Yeah, there's
And is
honestly
it healthy?
Yeah, I think there's honestly, obviously there could be a lot more women doing it, but all the women that do it are some of the most freaking stoked people ever, and they're shredding. I'm really good friends with this one girl named Emily Prosh. She really isn't doing it as much anymore, but she's really into jiu-jitsu now. She's the 7-time women's world champion. And
Oh my god.
she's just she's like a freaking kind of Kelly Slater type vibe of women's downhill skateboarding. You know, she's even beat men in the open division a few times.
Wow.
She's really an anomaly. She's really impressive. And, But as far as the kind of general women's scene goes, that's definitely something we're always trying to grow and stuff like that. But due to the nature of the sport, it's hard to get kind of men or women into it, because it's pretty dangerous.
So who does the slalom? Julia Yama.
Yama
So
does,
Julia
yeah.
Yama does the slalom. She's in the Olympics.
Right.
I think they're going to be in the Olympics. They'll have their own.
I believe not this one, but maybe the next one is
yeah.
going to be.
Something
Maybe
you,
the next
is
one.
that something
Hopefully.
you'd be interested in doing? Slalom or no?
I have a lot of friends who do slalom.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in trying it. I have a lot. My friend Brando does it. And, Colin does it. They actually go to the World Skate Games kind of things that I go to represent the country. I've never really given it a go though. It looks really fun, and a lot of good downhill guys do it.
Yeah.
But I've always just kind of dedicated my weekends to getting out into the hills. If I'm not doing downhill, I'm probably just surfing or hanging out with friends or something.
When's the next World Tour event?
Starts in June 13th to the 15th.
And that's not cheap traveling.
Oh no, it's not.
Yeah, so,
it's very expensive.
Obviously, you need support.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you looking for support?
I'm totally looking for support. If there's anybody on this freaking podcast that's looking to sponsor me or anything like that.
So it seems to
That'd
me,
be
people
awesome.
watching, is that unique marketing opportunity
Yeah.
in your leathers.
Definitely.
It's like NASCAR, right?
Yeah,
they
exactly.
can get their logo
Yeah.
on your leathers.
There's a lot of really good spots on my suit that are totally
That are
open
available.
for some pretty good stuff. And not only that, it's a pretty untapped market in terms of marketing goes. It's such a kind of viral little thing that nobody really sees that much of. So
Yeah.
I think it's obviously cool. It's what I've dedicated a lot of my life to. But
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of people who are pretty wowed by it. That
It
haven't
seems
seen
to
it
me
yet.
with speed, right?
Yeah.
There's DHL, FedEx type stuff.
Yeah.
There's internet providers.
Yeah.
There's
we've had a few of those.
Like tech
Yeah.
stuff
So
that's
totally.
into speed.
Yeah,
Um, That seems to me would be a natural for
Right?
something like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Amazon,
The
you
fastest.
know?
Yeah.
and
You need
so-
the fastest.
Yeah, so if your business is associated with that,
That's true.
Totally.
And
we
I
can
mean,
do something awesome.
pretty much any level of opportunity for you with
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah, definitely.
And then because you have 5 trips you're saving up for.
Oh yeah, yep, 5 big ones. So I'm knocking out 2 races on this big European one I'm going on over the summer, but then I have to get to El Salvador, and I have to get to Utah, and a bunch of stuff like that. So, and the traveling part of it is just it's the best part of it, honestly. sometimes we'll have a race in just a weird little obscure country pop up. Like, for some reason, I've spent like cumulatively I think 6 weeks in Romania.
What?
Like, I don't think I ever would have gone to Romania if it wasn't for downhill skateboarding.
What's
you know?
your favorite airport to skate through?
Ooh, that's a
great
fantastic question. Wow. I gotta say San Diego. That's my home one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know the breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, they're always like on the intercom, like I don't
Vic
remember what
Broms,
they
get
say.
off that skate.
Get off the skateboard, please. No skateboarding in the
Mr. Broms,
city.
white courtesy telephone.
Go 70 miles per
Let
hour.
me ask you this.
Yeah.
You guys came up yesterday?
This
This morning.
Came up today to come to the boardroom, do the show.
Yeah.
And you guys
Yeah.
to go home.
And we're
Yeah.
leaving
Okay.
tonight.
You got
I'm on a bunch of class tomorrow.
you got a quick tour. You got a quick tour. If TC was, if you, what board would you choose out of all the boards? What board would you like to?
for me to
What
ride?
board would you like to go home with?
Oh man.
Any board in here.
Yeah.
board?
What board would you choose?
Probably that one with the chick on the bikini. With the bikini. I'd probably grab that one, honestly. I know there's like cooler ones historically, but
What is
I
that
want to
one?
get in my room, dude. I think that'd be a cool one.
Is that the porn board?
Nah, is it?
The bikini's a sticker.
Oh, is it
If
really?
you take it off, it's boobs.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
sweet.
But it
That's
came-
perfect, dude.
It came with that sticker.
I'd
Is
totally
it?
take
From the
that
factory.
board. Yeah, I'd take that one,
So-
or I would take the Chewbacca board over there, the Star Wars one. I love Chewbacca.
That's
The plan B.
Yeah,
take
Chewbacca's
the David
sick.
Bowie
Sheffy.
one.
That'd be cool.
I haven't even seen it, but I would take the David Bowie
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah. The
What would you take? What would you take? You could put one in
The
your little-
Roscop one.
Yeah, that Roscoff.
that's fair.
Yeah, because we know him.
That
you
one's
know.
so sick.
That board is the #1 selling skateboard of all time. Was that model?
I believe it.
And he rode
So
that
iconic.
for 3 months, which is about 3 months longer than any other pro skateboarder rides a board, you know? And so,
Crazy.
Yeah.
because it had rails.
It's probably a magic board if you stayed on it for 3 months.
Well, it had a tail block, a nose block, and rails. So it was like
I like to see the rails,
like a
yeah.
bumper car, you know. So yeah, he was able to ride that for a long time.
Is that your favorite TC?
You know, that's a pretty amazing board. And my friend who he bought that board for $10, and it's probably worth in the 20s of thousands of dollars. Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
It's an amazing story.
That's what's so cool. You guys have so much history in this shop.
There's a lot of history
It's
here
so
for
fun.
sure.
Yeah. I love it.
You're graduating from Santa Barbara with a degree in
Communication and technology
and-
management.
And what's that?
Yep.
What's your goal with that?
Honestly, I was going to go into cybersecurity sales, but now I kind of want to try and do the downhill skateboarding tour for a while and hopefully parlay that into something cool. I want to work with like-minded individuals more than anything else, because I think that's probably how I'll be the most fulfilled in life.
Yeah.
I'd like to do.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you
maybe
do you
later
think
in
you're going to be the first guy to break 100 miles an hour?
Hopefully.
Isn't that the goal for all? Isn't that the goal for everybody? The 100?
We
It's
got
like an
91.
unofficial goal. Yeah,
We got 91, right?
now.
Dude, 100.
100 would be so sick. There's not a hill for it right now.
If anyone wants to
so-
sponsor
Yeah.
that, I
no-
will go
so
and
what-
film
what do you
it.
have to-
we will
What do you
pave
have to
a
have?
stretch.
What do you have to make that happen? Like, what type of hill do you have to
You
make that
need
happen?
something that's super high altitude and super steep. So what you would want
And
is
straight.
and straight
long.
and
Very long.
at that speed, if you're at the altitude you want to be doing it at, you basically want just like picture a freaking massive half pipe that's like about a mile on both sides.
You need a run out
So it has
You need
to
to
be
run out because you're
mile.
going to be on a speed because.
or a parachute.
I guess a parachute, but you have to have the parachute deploy and you have to have the pack so that wouldn't be
They just
arrow.
pull you
and-
straight off the
yeah,
back.
yeah, dude. The
Yeah.
parachute would
It
beat
needs to
you
come
off
out of the back. It
probably.
needs to come out of the back of here.
Yeah, that. Ooh.
Can we talk about this really
Yeah,
quick?
totally.
Because this is
I can give the people a demo too if they
this
want.
is
Yeah, give us a demo.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the aerodynamic.
Does this? Has anybody
No,
stood on this?
no,
No.
that's
cool.
not- yeah,
cool.
that's-
Yeah, no worries.
But how about we do it out here?
Yeah,
out
perfect.
there,
Let's
yeah.
do it. So basically, I'll start while I'm walking. So
The
this
board's
helmet.
called the Black Mamba.
Yeah, the Black
right.
Mamba. So this helmet right here is made by a bunch of really cool people down in Brazil. The paint job was done by my friend Josh in Tennessee. And it's designed to be as aerodynamic as possible and close the gaps between my head and my shoulders so that my draft isn't as big, so that
Yeah.
when I'm racing, people behind me can't like gain as much speed off me. But we're going to lower it because I'm going to tuck.
What's the position you have to be in to get the most speed?
I'm about to show you.
It's the
Okay.
Hudson
Yeah.
Tuck.
A Hudson
Yeah.
Tuck?
Hut Tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
gotta
I'm
show
down
the
here
ground
like
'cause
this.
he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
lower it.
Yeah, lower that down.
Hang on.
You got to,
Yeah.
you put, your legs are kind of staggered like this. Back knee goes in front of this one. And you tuck. And you use your chin to push on the back of the helmet, the front of the helmet,
Yeah.
to close the gap.
So there's no gap here.
Yeah.
totally
Okay.
sealed,
No gap. And
Yeah.
arms behind.
and arms behind.
Yeah.
How fast are you going right now?
And that's the hut.
fast.
So
That's
that
the hut?
is that is the hut tuck
hut
because
is known as a hut.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hut
his was
tuck.
like
But he was on his toe.
Yeah.
So that was the difference.
Yeah,
Everybody
totally.
else was flat foot.
Yeah,
And
sometimes
Hudson
I'm
could
on
get
my
on his
toes.
toe.
It really depends. It's better to be flat-footed at that speed so that you can engage your heel side rail to turn right without having to move. Because
He's going straight.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
why.
He wasn't too concerned
that was
about
Signal
that.
Hill.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, Signal Hill's freaking
And
gnarly.
Is there? Do you know? Does that hill exist?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Signal
Signal
Hill's
Hill's
still
still
there.
yeah. People don't really skate it too much anymore, in my knowledge.
No, but is
There
there one?
used to
The
be a lot
hill
of
I'm talking about.
races.
Is there one? The hill out there to get to 100 miles an hour? Is it out there?
Probably somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere.
It's got to be
China,
somewhere.
right?
Maybe in China or Russia or.
Why do you say China?
Because I feel like I just know nothing about it. I don't know.
You know,
Maybe.
the challenge with that is, you're talking high altitude, you're talking winter weather that tears
Yeah.
up roads.
Yep, exactly.
You know, vehicles
It's
with chains.
almost like a paradox to have a road that would be like that.
You need, you need a fresh paved job.
Yeah. Fresh pavement, you need fresh pavement, you need to be at 10,000 feet,
Yeah.
you need to be like a mile long with 10% gradient, you need a clean run out too. You could do it without a run out, but that's like asking for some crazy shit to
And
happen.
it's rare to find a mountain road that steep because then you can't drive a car in snow on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you're just
Yeah.
spinning off the highway.
Yeah,
So,
it's really hard to ask for something like that. There's really only a few locations in the world. There's one in Colorado, one in Montreal.
So if
that
you
we know
can't,
of.
what can you do as far as equipment wise or skateboarding wise to get to that speed?
So you
On the
wear,
le- on the-
you wear this thing. It's funny because people started wearing these like gimp suits, like they're like
to weight him down.
yeah, to weigh them down, but also to like it's like latex on your skin, so it's completely like aerodynamically sealed. So like your aerodynamic profile is much smaller at that point, and it basically just seals you off a lot better. Another thing that people do to get to really high speeds like that is like I would bolt in like 20 pounds of weight to the front of my board right here.
Yeah.
I'd wear chainmail, I'd wear weight vests, I'd wear ankle weights. Like
Is that cheating?
Now, do you?
It's
need-
kind of cheating.
how about
It's
a-
cheating. It's
how
not
about a-
organic.
How about a fairing?
Yeah,
on
my
your
friend
board.
Max makes these
He
fairings that
says
are pretty
he
impressive.
says cheating. I mean, are there rules to it? Like,
There's kind of rules because I mean I could get towed behind his car and go 120 right now.
so
You
Guinness
know.
Book of World Records call you and go, and they go, you're not part. You're not. You had.
I think it's kind of
Be
up for
classified as a
debate.
different. It could be.
It
the
could be a different
fastest,
thing.
but
It could be
it's just-
fastest behind
Right.
a car or something
Or
like
get
that.
towed into a hill.
Yeah, exactly. Which is something that we've
We
done.
towed him a good amount. For
Yeah,
the
yeah.
documentary.
I get towed
For
through
the
everything.
pretty shots.
It's pretty gnarly because you're getting towed behind a car and you're basically just like you have this tow rope. Like imagine you're just like wakeboarding,
Right.
and you just pull off the
That's
fucking
so
rope and accelerate like 10 miles an hour in a matter of like 2 seconds. It's,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. You just like warp speed. You know, it feels like you're freaking hitting warp speed in the Millennium Falcon.
How do you communicate when you're getting towed and you throw the rope? The car's got to take off, right?
Yeah, or they just like typically
Pull
you have it on a
inside?
2-lane. Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
like, hey, you stay right, I'll go left. That
That
kind of
communication.
thing. Yeah, you kind of plan it beforehand.
Huh.
What a lot of people do, especially in the European downhill scene, for just all types of kind of road comms, is you have a radio duct taped to your helmet, and you just like there's like clear, and you have a lead car. So in America we use follow cars more so. In Europe, because the roads are a bit narrower, a bit more technical, you'll have a guy running lead car with like some fast, freaking cool car.
And he'll tell you if there's a car coming.
Exactly, yeah. We're like, red Audi coming up there. I was like, all right, red Audi going up. And then after that, if you don't hear anything, you can like break lane and take a cooler line around the corner
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And
You know, at the racetrack we have receivers where I wear a $100
yeah,
battery powered, and then one with the radio talks to you.
that's so sick.
And that works. That's a good way to.
That's
do
a
it.
good way to do it.
You can't talk back.
You can kind of talk back. It's hard to get any kind of mic within the helmet.
Right.
So, yeah, it's difficult.
Have you ever been arrested or ticketed for going high speed on a
I
skateboard?
actually haven't. I know a lot of friends who have. Some roads are pretty hot. There's been a lot of times where you're skating a road and you'll pass a cop going like 60, and you're like oh shit, and then you just like shut down and go hide down the side of the road and like drive past and you're like
Because I bet normal people
Yeah.
hate you as much as electric bikers.
yeah.
You know,
I'm sure.
I'm sure they're like, you're gonna
Yeah.
kill somebody.
Yeah. You know, you look at it from a technical aspect though, and like
More fascinating.
we're really only going downhill. We're going flow of traffic, if not faster. We aren't doing any. I mean, I guess we're doing some kind of crazy shit, but like we're staying in our lane. You know that we're not really breaking
That's
too
the
many
plan.
road rules. Yeah, that's the plan
Yeah.
always.
Not crossing.
We're not really like you know, even road bikers going up a hill, cars have to go around and swerve in the other lane. That's dangerous. We don't even do that. You know, it's like I don't know. People trip out about it, but I think if more people looked into it, they'd understand it's actually like pretty fun.
Well, they may be more concerned about your safety.
Probably,
You know what I mean?
probably,
And,
yeah.
like, thinking that you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, true.
Would be a lot of their concern.
Yeah, that's probably right.
What do you got there, my friend?
In the morning, you get out of bed, get ready to go. You want to go out of Starbucks, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you haul ass out of Starbucks? Or you just kind of cruise.
I like to haul ass. Everywhere.
Do you have it? I beat yesterday's time.
Yeah,
I beat Monday's
like,
time.
Just walking around. If I have to walk or bike to campus, like to a class on campus, like I'm like slaloming people that are walking on my bike and stuff like that. My bike doesn't have any brakes, so it's like,
What's the rush?
yeah.
His bike has no brakes.
What's that?
His bike has no brakes.
Yeah, I just foot brake with my bike. I like stand on the side, like "Urgh." It's scary.
He
That's
puts
fun.
one of these blocks on.
Do you have a shoe sponsor? You must go through shoes like crazy, right? So
I don't have a shoe sponsor right now.
Shit.
I would love to have a shoe sponsor.
Yeah.
DC was giving me some shoes for a while, as well as a few other shoe companies. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want to settle. I really love Nikes and I really love Vans. Those are my two favorite skate shoes.
Okay.
So I'd rather ride those than. For me, it's all about performance over anything else, you know. But if there is another shoe
he's
out there,
open.
I'm totally open. I'm totally open.
Well, because you could have
love
input
city
on
skate shoes. Test
have
them.
input on design that makes a downhill shoe better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And
Which
it's
we
still
totally
grip
do.
tape.
Yeah,
So it's-
and that all translates to skateboarding at large too. Because I think honestly, like downhill skaters kind of put their shoes through a lot worse than any kind of street or transition skaters would. Because
Well, you have grip.
our grip tape, our grip tape's like 24 grit. They're running like 40 or 50 grit probably, like Jessup. We're running just the grittiest stuff we can to keep ourselves on our boards, and it really rips up shoes a lot. And foot
And
braking at that
skin
speed.
too, huh?
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
That'll give you a road rash like
Dude,
the road would.
The worst feeling ever is when you're already crashing and your board comes on you and just like slices you. It's just like, I had that grip tape on there so that it would keep me on the board. Now I'm off. It's my enemy. It's like
Unbelievable.
such BS.
We watched the trailer earlier. The documentary is
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and you can watch it where?
on Tubi.
Tubi.
Yeah,
Tubi.
so it's
Free on
completely free
Tubi.
on Tubi. It's
You don't
it's
even
been on there
need
for
to
a
make an
bit.
account. You
There's
just
a
go
good,
on
there's
Tubi.
the YouTube has a good trailer too.
Yeah, YouTube has a good trailer. We
Yeah.
have a
If you
bunch
Google
of,
"What's the Rush," will it take you to it?
Nick Broms, What's the Rush, or What's the
Yeah.
Rush documentary, it'll take you to it. We have a website.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that USA. Up here. It's gotta be up here in the boardroom.
Yeah, I'll hang him up in there for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's really amazing. I don't know if we really discussed it much, but since your knee surgery, your first race was
Yeah.
last weekend.
Yeah, totally.
And how many people entered that race?
Not too many. So it was at a
It's not
free
really
ride
a
event.
race, right?
Yeah, it was like honestly more of just like kind of like a we're already all at this free ride event. Let's just run a little dollar race kind of thing.
Some of the best in the world, though.
Yeah, but it was still like the
best.
top like
Yeah.
racers in America were all kind of there. It felt
Yeah.
like, but I got second in it, which I was really stoked on. The finals was like me and four other my best friends, you know. So
Awesome.
It was awesome.
And your knees good?
I would say my knee's probably like 95%. It was hurting the next day for sure. And like I took some Advil before the race and stuff, and I don't think I was pretty much at 100%. But you know, like it's such a when you're going through right hand corners for me since I'm goofy heel side, getting that low and having to come up on a knee that isn't still fully there yet is really hard. I don't think it affected me. I think I just kind of
I was just ask, would you have won with 100% knee?
No, I don't think I would have.
Okay.
I don't think I would have yet.
All
Not
right.
yet. I didn't deserve to win that one. My leg strength is not there. It's not back yet. So.
Advil's your friend.
Huh?
Advil's your friend.
Advil's definitely
And do you
your
take
friend.
care of yourself on first day? Because you got to be bleeding. You got to be bleeding all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Right. What's not bleeding?
Well, his mom's a nurse. So.
My mom is a nurse. Every single time I got road rash when I come home.
So
my
mom's a nurse. She's got to be telling you, please do not do the sport anymore.
She was down for it. Yeah,
She was?
She knew how much I loved it. She's always been so supportive.
She's a badass.
She would just take like industrial grade everything from the hospital she worked at and come home and use it on me. It was
Lots of gauze.
Oh, it was perfect. Yeah, it was perfect.
Sends you on the road with a
Yeah,
first aid kit?
exactly. Yeah, I have a bitchin' first aid kit in my car at all times. So,
Yeah.
That's
Mom, good
amazing.
job, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Love my mom for
Yeah.
sure.
Love Mom.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, it's been awesome to have you here.
Oh my
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
proud
Thanks so
of
much.
you.
It's been so fun being on this podcast and
Donovan,
check out your
the
shop.
documentary kind of hit the tour,
Yeah.
and you said earlier that you had some pretty good accolades from the documentary already?
Yeah. Basically, we're super great. So we didn't hit the like tour. It was more just kind of a focus on Nick and who he is, and kind of breaching the world of downhill skateboarding for people who don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Thing I'm most proud of with this documentary is that it wasn't just me, it was this team of passionate people who came together to make it happen. And then, of course, Nick, our star, as you guys know, is the most gung-ho, like, just great, nice person. So I wanted to show him authentically, though, all the good, all the bad sides. We went from Eureka, hit all the hot spots, stopped here, Santa Cruz, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara, Malibu, and then all in preparation for the gnarliest ride of his life, the most dangerous road that you kind of saw in that trailer, just the mangled road. And that was really exciting because the day we filmed that, I learned that it was... So that was the climax, but as a documentary filmmaker, you don't know if it's actually going to be climactic enough and big enough.
It was punchy.
And I was scared for his life filming that. It was insane. But overall, really feel-good documentary that we're so proud of because just goes to inspire people and anyone, even if you're not interested in the downhill skateboard scene. That's been the best feedback because people are like, oh, my boyfriend dragged me to this. I love it. This is sick. It's a real feel-good, interesting documentary. So really proud of it. You can watch it for free on Tubi and see this guy.
Good job, buddy.
Let's go. Thanks so much for having us,
dude.
That was
Heck
awesome.
yeah, that was so
Heck
fun.
yeah. Thank you,
Inspiring.
guys.
Dude,
Let's go. Appreciate you, Neil.
You're welcome.
When you win the
Thank you
world
for watching,
championship, we're gonna have you back and we're
All
gonna
right,
talk
let's
about
do it. Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Are we still live on here, Neil?
Next week, Nancy Miller. She's got 14 names. Joel Gomez is
Joel Gomez is gonna come on the show.
Joel Gomez is
All right.
It's his wife. She's the new poet laureate.
Oh, of course.
Whatever,
Very
Paul.
successful, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, everybody, thanks for tuning in. The Off Lip Radio Show live here from the Santa Cruz Boardroom. Nick,
Let's go.
keep going fast.
Heck yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Keep filming. We'll see you guys next week on the Off Lip Radio Show.